Hello students and welcome to the AMP English Hour. This is going to be the AMP Hour. This is my new set of lessons that are finally going to be here. So, let me explain to you in this video what the AMP Hour will consist of, what the AMP Hour will have. So, my first lesson that I'll be talking about, which you can follow, it will be after this video, is about test taking. It's about what to do to be successful on a test. It'll talk about some different skills, some different techniques you can use to be successful on taking the TOEFL exam, for instance. If the TOEFL exam is scaring you, you can watch this video and it will help you with some different techniques, some small little things that could help you on the TOEFL exam. But to go into detail, before I get started, I'll tell you about myself. My name is Phil Norris. As you know, I am the director and teacher of AMP English. I am AJ Hogue. AJ Hogue, the teacher and master of effortless English and several other English courses. I am his cousin, so I have worked closely with AJ. I traveled in Japan, Thailand, Vietnam, and Nepal with AJ over the past 2 years, and he and I created this AMP English course. And AMP, which you can see in a later video, stands for Attitude, Money, Mindset, and Persuasion. And the course will be available at AMPENG.com. AMPENG.com very soon. So let me tell you about myself, because you may think, oh, who is this guy? How does he know about teaching English? What does he know? Well, I grew up in Franklin, Indiana, a small town in Indiana. It's south of Indianapolis, which is the main city in Indiana. And I went to high school there, and then I went to college. I'm currently a college student. I'm actually at my college right now. I'm a senior, so I graduate in 3 months. But I go to college in Chicago. The school is called North Central College. North Central College. Great school in the suburbs, in the suburban area of Naperville. So, this doesn't really give me any rapport. This doesn't really tell you, hey, he's a good teacher, he should be teaching me English. Well, I'm here to help students both pass the TOEFL exam, improve their English so they sound like a university-level student when they speak, so they can read like a university-level student. And I'm also here to help you succeed in college or in your career after college. Or if you're thinking about going to college, getting into college. And why I think I am prepared to do this, or the perfect person to do this, is because I've done all these things. I got into college. I got into a very good university. I've been a very successful student, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And I have basically somewhat mastered how to take a test. I'm a very good test taker. And I'm very confident. I'm very good at what I do. I can say this confidently. I'm very humble, though, too. Humble means that I'm down to earth. I don't get cocky. But I can honestly say that I have put in the hard work. I've done the hard work to think that I'm able to teach other people on how to be successful. So, let me tell you about myself in college. Came to North Central College, I came to my university, and I was very young and scared. I know a lot of students are this way. They're very nervous. I don't know if I can do well. I don't know if I can succeed. Oh, people will be mean. I won't make any friends. And I thought this for a little while. I was nervous. I was very, very nervous because I didn't know anyone at my college. I was moving far away from my home. And I was an okay student in high school, but I wasn't a great student. I didn't have a perfect 4.0 GPA, grade point average. I had around a 3.5. I'll admit it, a 3.5 GPA, which is good, but it's not great. So I came to college, and my goal was to just stay confident in myself, to make new friends, and to always recognize that you have to stay positive. Even, there's going to be hard times in anything. There's going to be difficult times with anything you do. You have to stay positive. This was the first lesson I learned in college, was just staying positive. It will make you successful. And being outgoing. Even if you're not outgoing, try to make yourself Be outgoing. Talk to people. The more you talk to people, the more you converse. It's like this with English learning. And it's just like this with normal conversation in your native language. But the more you talk to people, the more confident you will be. Now, you'll mess up. You will mess up. I have made mistakes talking. We've all done this. We think to ourselves, you're such an idiot. Why did you say that? You could have said it this way. Or you sounded really stupid there. But the great part about this is that you can learn from your mistakes. So you just have to put yourself out there. What I mean by this, putting yourself out there, is to just make yourself do it. Because you'll regret it in the end. You'll regret not doing something, not talking to that person, not studying ahead of time on a test. You never want to regret something. So put yourself out there. Never be nervous. Never let your nervousness control you, your fear control you. This is the first lesson I learned in college, and that's one of the reasons why I think I am a great person for learning English from, is because I've made mistakes. I've made mistakes, but I'm very confident now. Second reason, and it's an obvious reason, is that I speak English. I've spoken English all my life. I'm a very, very, very good writer. I've been published several times by big companies, and I'm also writing for a school newspaper as well. And I will be writing a book that will be coming out in the next year. I will be working with AJ. I will be working with AJ on this book. But this is another reason, because I've practiced. I've made mistakes. I was not a very good writer when I was younger. I was a terrible writer, horrible, and that was my native language. But I've practiced. I read all the time, and I've learned a style of writing that works for me. Now, in the AMMP English course, you will see that I have written many essays, and the style of writing will fit what it takes to get a good score on the TOEFL exam, what it takes to get that 500 and above, or that 550 and above that you really want to score on the TOEFL exam. So, other reasons that I think I'm a good example to listen to, a good person to listen to. I've been very involved in college. I've been very involved in college. And time management is huge, and staying organized. This is where most people fail. They don't have good time management skills. They are not organized. And the last part is that they don't go into things prepared. They aren't prepared for issues that may happen, or prepared for meetings even. And I wasn't good at this. I will admit, again, I was not very good at this when I came to college at first. But I learned how to manage my time. I learned techniques on how to manage my time, which I will talk about in future AMP English or AMP Hour podcasts. I learned how to stay organized, which I will also talk about in the AMP Hour podcast. And number 3, I learned how to be prepared, which is the biggest thing in college. Being prepared is one of the most important lessons you will learn. And I learned techniques on how to do this. Now, all of these things together made it so that I could be the vice president of our college union activity board, have big events on campus. I was asked as a young student to help pick a professor for the school on a professor search committee. I have been on our first year mentoring, so I mentor new students into the college. I've done this for 3 years. I have been our student life officer, so I was in charge of making sure that all the students are happy on campus and making sure that the college is a fun place for students. I am now our president of our student body. I'm the president of all the students in the school. So I oversee all of the student council and make sure that all students are happy, make sure that we are represented at the school. And I've been to Florida. I've been to Naples, Florida for this. I've given speeches in Naples, Florida, given speeches on our campus. So I've also developed a good public speaking ability as well, which I'll give a lot of techniques on how to public speak. I've learned a lot of this from AJ, and I've also learned it from other people like Tony Robbins and many other different leaders that are very successful at this. And then also one of the things that I want to say that I think makes me a very good teacher is that I'm young. I'm very young. A lot of teachers are a lot older, and they can't really relate to their students. But I think I can relate. I understand what students really want to learn about. I get that you want to learn about the culture, American culture. You want to learn about kind of funny things, interesting things, celebrities, sports. You want to learn about dating. I've had this question a lot. Dating and how relationships work in the United States. Food. We all love food. I love food. Exercise, how to stay healthy, healthy living and lifestyle. All of these different things. And the list goes on and on. Famous movies. And I understand this. I love all these things. I am 23 years old, which makes me very young. So a lot of the students that I teach will be older than me. A lot of the students I teach will be younger than me. But I think that I'm in the middle range in age where I can kind of relate to both sides. I can talk about different things that are very interesting. Politics, I can talk about, like I said, health and wellness. Health and wellness is my passion. I love making people healthy and helping people learn the techniques to be healthy. I exercise a lot. I try to stay strong. So this is another reason why I think you will enjoy the AMP Hour. You will also enjoy my other lessons that I have. I have Periscope lessons where I teach a TOEFL word every day, and I also teach idioms. But the AMP Hour, now that I've kind of talked about why I think I would be a good teacher, why I think that I will be a sufficient teacher, let's go into the AMP Hour and what the AMP Hour is about. So in the past, I've taught vocabulary essay lessons, the TOEFL word essay lessons. I have taught several different types of lessons. I've taught NLP lessons, all kinds of different things. But the AMP Hour is great because, one thing, it allows me to talk about anything. I can talk about anything. So I will be recording this course, or it's not really a course, but this podcast, and I'll be uploading it to YouTube. I will do this on a regular basis. I'll be doing it regularly, and I'll just talk about different things that are really interesting. So one day I might do culture in America. One day I might do 10 vocabulary words in an essay. One day I might talk about techniques on how to be a successful test taker. One day I might talk about just myself and some interesting stories that I have traveling. One of my AMP Hour podcasts might just be questions from students, and I'll try to include questions on a regular basis at the end of the AMP Hour course as well. The fun thing is, too, that I, being a university level student, have the opportunity to interview. So I'll have some conversation AMP Hour podcasts where I'll have professors, I will have students, I will have try to get my president on the AMP Hour podcast, and they'll talk to you about being successful. There are plenty of students at my school who are international students who already took the TOEFL exam, who scored very well, and that are learning here, and they're my good friends, and I can interview them as well to have them give you advice on how to speak like a university-level English student, and also study for the TOEFL exam, because I've never taken the TOEFL, so I can't give you that advice. But someone who has taken the TOEFL exam can give you that advice. So, that is the main important points about the AMP Hour that you're going to see. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing student comments. I look forward to hearing back from you. And then also, I can give some reading assignments as well, some writing assignments, and you guys can send them to me. Anything that I can do to really talk with my students and kind of get to know you. I call you my students, but I see you more as my friends. A lot of you message me on Facebook. A lot of you message me on Twitter. I really enjoy talking with you guys. And I can't wait in the future when I start doing live events to actually get to meet you and talk to you in person. So, thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching this 15-minute video. I hope this kind of explains a little bit about myself, tells you a little bit about myself, and then also is a good basis for what you think the AMP Hour will be like. So it explains what the AMP Hour will be like, what you're kind of going to be watching in the future. So, as usual, like I say at the end of every lesson, like I say at the end of everything, stay amped for learning English. This means stay excited for learning English, stay amped for learning English. I will see you soon in the next lesson, and remember to always keep working hard and always check the YouTube page for future videos. Check the Phil Norris YouTube page for extra videos. I'm out.